Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Property taxes are going up in Cass County for virtually everyone, even more for some whose property evaluations are up.
The county auditor says the increase is roughly $120 on a $100,000 home in Fargo, provided your value stays the same. And as the anger and frustration keep mounting for homeowners, it seems the amount of tax breaks given to developers in town seems high too.
Valley News Team's Bradford Eric asks Fargo Mayor Tim Mahoney why it seems like we're giving out so much in breaks when we keep having to pay more and more.
The state legislature voted to end a 12% property tax rebate and instead take that money to fund county social services on a statewide level. And so while the city says they've actually lowered your taxes, you're still paying more because the state is not chipping in, and your valuation might have gone up too.
A lady who's 85 does 2 jobs and she was hurt by this a bit.
Mayor Mahoney says he's gotten some phone calls and emails about the tax situation, but not many, and adds the city has a program some people can qualify for in reference to tax relief.
And we actually see what happens is that we get a return on investment on the tax-exempt properties.
For large projects, for example, the $98 million Block 9 project downtown or the FedEx move at the airport, developers can receive one of several different types of tax rebates and incentives. Block 9 gets roughly $15 million in tax credits, but Mayor Mahoney says that actually represents a very small portion.
And on a plus-minus basis, on a yearly basis, we're having more money come onto the tax rolls than going out. And so when people say, has that caused this to go up? No, it hasn't.
He points to the City Assessment Department's annual report. It shows new residential value at $95+ million, but TIF and Renaissance Zone exemptions at $26 million plus and $27 million plus respectively. Meaning, the mayor says, there's more tax breaks given to first-time home buyers right now than some of these major projects. I talked with Fargo City Commissioner Tony Gehrig today, and who says he disagrees with the mayor about this situation. Gehrig said instead of giving away these tax breaks to developers up front, go ahead and tax the property from the get-go and collect that money instead of waiting a few years or even decades. Adding he feels every time a tax credit is approved, it directly impacts your tax bill. Commissioner Gehrig also stressed that if you're not happy about your tax bill, you need to let the city leaders know. Call them, email them, show up to meetings like this, just getting underway here in a couple minutes here at Fargo City Hall. There's going to be a public discussion where you can bring your tax bill and show the city commissioners just how much it is you're paying. If nobody shows up and nobody says anything, then they're just going to assume that everybody is okay paying more money. Live at Fargo City Hall, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Bradford. Now, other towns within Cass County will also have similar meetings. Check with your local city hall about when they're going to be held.
The boyfriend of a murdered Fargo woman says DNA results confirm a baby found after his girlfriend, Savannah Graywind, disappeared is in fact his child. Ashton Matheny tells Valley News Live today that he received their test results from Cass County Social Services, and they confirm what police had already suspected. Matheny says legal custody of the baby has not yet been awarded, but he's hopeful that will happen soon. He said the baby has been in his care since last Wednesday. Matheny and Graywind named the baby girl Hazley Joe. Savannah Graywind disappeared on August 19th. Her body was found in the Red River north of Fargo about a week later. 2 people, William Hain and Brooke Cruz, have been charged in her disappearance and death.
Fargo Civil Service Commission will again take up the firing of David Belke on Wednesday. The hearing recessed on Friday after more than 5 hours of testimony. The former Fargo police officer is appealing after being fired for dereliction of duty. He was let go after a lengthy investigation that determined, among other things, he had not filed reports, lacked empathy, and was disrespectful toward the department.
Our warmer weather continues, but there's talk of changes headed this way. First, let's find out about tonight's forecast. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Andrea. As we head into the evening, we have a few clouds showing up on the satellite, but the radar is extremely quiet heading into your Monday night. After a hot day in the 80s here in the valley, much of the evening looks to be equally as quiet. It's sizzling out in the west with near 90-degree readings this hour. We have some upper 70s in Lakes Country. Not much is going to change this evening with the exception of a rapidly falling temperature. Most of the post-sunset Temperatures will be in the 60s. We do have some cooler weather to talk about and even a chance of rain, and we'll do that here in a few moments.
All right, thank you, Hutch.
2 men remain in jail after a shooting at a home in the Northern Valley. 19-year-old Joe Melvin and 18-year-old Fahad Hussein, both of Grand Forks, are facing robbery and terrorizing charges. The incident happened just a few blocks north of University Avenue and the Jaycees Park. A man reported hearing noises and found the two inside his house. He says when they saw him, they fired a gun as they left. Police say Melvin and Hussein allegedly fired 2 more shots at the homeowner and the house once they were outside. They were arrested a short time later.
Jury selection is set for next week in the case of a North Dakota man accused of attempted murder in a shooting in Breckenridge. 28-year-old Matthew Allard of Wahpeton is accused of shooting Isaac Herrera in the stomach during an argument last December. Allard was arrested the next day at a mobile home in Wahpeton. He's facing 5 felony counts.
Police in Grand Rapids, Minnesota say an officer's squad car was targeted by gunshots and other bullets hit his house last night. Officer Matt O'Rourke was off duty and at his home when he heard multiple shots hit his squad car parked in his driveway, and reported projectiles also struck the outside of his house. O'Rourke followed the shooter's vehicle and called for backup. 2 men, ages 19 and 20, were arrested near an elementary school. O'Rourke and his family were not hurt.
You can expect to see an increase of law enforcement on rural roads in North Dakota this weekend. The North Dakota Highway Patrol is teaming up with Barnes and Stutsman counties to hold alcohol saturation events in those areas. Officials say the goal is to deter, detect, and remove drunk drivers from the streets to prevent unnecessary crashes. Nearly half of all fatal crashes in North Dakota involve an impaired driver, resulting in approximately 60 or more deaths each year.
The newest and greatest technology for agriculture is once again on display this week in West Fargo. It's the 37th annual Big Iron Farm Show, Tuesday through Thursday. Each year, more than 70,000 people meet with top dealers and talk with market analysts. The show runs from 9 to 5 tomorrow and Wednesday, and then from 9 to 4 on Thursday. Now, for a schedule of events, a list of dealers that'll be there, go to valleynewslive.com and click on the hot button for a link to the Big Iron website.
Pheasant numbers in the Dakotas are down to some of the lowest levels on record, and biologists say the drop is blamed largely on the worst drought to hit the states in decades. North Dakota's Roadside Pheasant Survey, conducted in late July and August, shows the number of birds is down 61% from last year. A similar survey in South Dakota shows the numbers are down about 45%.
Coming together locally to remember those who lost their lives to terrorism. That's later on Valley News Live at 6.
Up next, help from the Red River Valley for Hurricane Irma victims.